I'm going to be rebuilding the Houston Texans after they got stomped by the Baltimore Ravens. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys like and or subscribe. I would appreciate that. The channel is growing quickly. But with that being said, what was that performance on Christmas Day? I'm a Ravens fan. I'm so happy that the Ravens performed that well. It's looking up going into the playoffs. And I know people are going to be like, oh, we don't have Stephon Diggs. We don't have Tank Dell. They just recently signed Deontay Johnson, who's not going to do anything. It's going to be like, oh, excuse this, excuse that. The offense didn't score a single point. It was 31-2. Your defense scored 2 points because your punter put you in a good position. Joe Mixon, I'm surprised this dude doesn't have superstar development the way he's been playing this year. Nico Collins with X Factor, CJ Stroud with X Factor as well, but no upgrade for Joe Mixon. I'm going to leave it. Defensively, though, team is pretty good. Interior defensive line definitely needs to be worked on. It shows on the field. Kalen Bullock, maybe I'll move to the starter, but either way, they are currently 9-7 in real life. I'm going to be simulating for the rest of the season. Just let the AI sort it all out. But everything here looks good. Surprised Will Anderson Jr. doesn't get superstar development after winning Defensive Rookie of the Year, but CJ Stroud has superstar X Factor. Will Anderson still had like at least 2 tackles for a loss in the Ravens game. He was pretty good still, but again, just embarrassing loss for the Houston Texans. And I understand this is a good roster. They may not necessarily need a rebuild, but at the same time, the Texans still have yet to win a Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure the Texans have never even appeared in a Super Bowl, but according to the simulation, the Texans do finish 10-7 here, coming off a loss to the Ravens and then beating the Titans in Week 18 here to face the 11-6 Baltimore Ravens. Of course, all the records are scrambles. Of course, the Jets are not going to be 11-6 and make the playoffs here, but this is just what the AI gives me. I just forced the 9-7 wins to the Texans up into this point, of course, to match their real record. I'm not going to force them throughout the video, just to match their real record, and then the AI simulated the Titans game in Week 18, which is a win. So we are 10-7 with a home field advantage here, as the Ravens don't get a home field advantage because the Bengals ball out in this simulation. I know the records are scrambled. I'm not going to do anything about it. It's not that big of a deal. Can we beat the Ravens? We do not. 34-28. Let's move into the offseason and start this rebuild. And as always, I do not actually use realistic draft classes until we get closer to the draft or until after the combine, because one, I just need a better grasp on the real prospects coming in, and number two, I hate it whenever YouTubers just download a draft class and then just memorize the whole draft class and then just cheat on all of their rebuilds. It's super annoying, but let's see what we got here as the Cardinals make it to the Super Bowl. They are already eliminated from the playoffs. Daquan Jones wins the Super Bowl MVP as the Bills win their very first Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes wins league MVP. He wins league MVP in every simulation. I understand he's good, but it's kind of annoying to see. In the AFC South, as a halfback, Dare something. I don't even know how to even pronounce that. I'm not even going to try. The halfback for the Texans, that's not Dameon Pierce or Joe Mixon retires. Case Keenum retires, and Nick Folk all retire. And the AI automatically just gave Joe Mixon a superstar development upgrade. I feel like that's fair, honestly, and he's regressing anyways, so I feel like that's kind of a balance between both of them. I did not give him that, as you can see the progression history, but he is regressing due to him being 29 years old. Got to fix some of the offensive line in the offseason. Defensively, Henry or whatever gets star development. That's all I can really see. And Kamari Lassiter gets superstar developments. I don't really know if that's fair, considering I didn't play really the most the first season, but sure, I guess we'll let it slide this one time. But for the re-signings, Derek Stingley, I'm going to accept his option. Stephon Diggs is in a contract year. I don't want Deontay Johnson. Don't want Jeff Okudah, even though he's been solid for them in real life. He's not that good in simulation. And also, of course, he has normal development. He has a small interest with the team. Everyone else here, I'm just not really interested in. But Stephon Diggs, of course, I want him back. He's 31. I'll do a 2-year contract with him, increase the bonus to $10 million, $23 million 2-year contract. He's a superstar X Factor. We'll keep him. Yeah, we still, of course, have to pay CJ Stroud. So I'm going to be conservative with my money. I'll take a peek in free agency, but I don't really plan to be a big spender unless it's like 1-year contracts. And the free agency class is Tyron Smith, who probably won't ever get a job again due to his injury history. Trent Brown wouldn't be a bad shout for a 1-year signing. Same thing with Stephon Gilmore. So the only person I got on my signing was Stephon Gilmore, just on a 1-year contract. I don't have a lot of money to work with, and again, it's only 1 year. In the draft, we're going to have pick number 22 here. The Titans get the #1 overall pick, and they're going to go with a defensive end here. Interesting choice. And for the team, I want to focus on getting maybe a little bit of offensive lineman help, especially at the center position. Titus Howard, I guess, isn't the worst, but it's not the best. Shaq Mason is regressing, so I do need some interior help there. And then defensively, definitely need a defensive tackle here. And then Kalen Bullock here is 22 years old, and he's 6'2", 188. Not really necessarily the big weight or the size there to play strong safety, but I'm going to put him there anyways. I don't really have anyone else there. He's just going to tough it out, but he does have the height to be there. So hopefully he can be good in that position. I have everything I want at corner, so I just need, realistically, maybe another middle linebacker. And yeah, Christian Harris really isn't doing good in this simulation. The previous Madden, he was always super cracked, so we'll see how that goes. We do have some safeties on the board in Jermaine Devine here, 6'1", 213 out of Iowa State. Looks pretty good overall. I would take him. He's not necessarily a need. There's a defensive tackle here. Do I really want to take him? This guy's a first to second round talent, at least. Great speed, great strength, great acceleration. He looks really good. I usually don't like taking defensive tackles round one because you can get them pretty easily down the board. Usually whenever I pick them in the first round, they end up having normal development. Let's see how he is. Please don't have normal development. Ranked 28, got him at 22. Hidden development, 92 strength, 77 speed at 300 pounds is kind of crazy. Denzel Hall will immediately start. In round number 2, picking up a new right guard, Chandler Graff here out of Ohio State. Has normal development. Really annoying, but he's just going to be a backup for now. Cliff Graham here, center. I mean, not really the best I see out of Alabama. Not really the worst either. He's got some solid athleticism. Ranked 82, got him at 86. Normal development. That's super annoying. Whenever you get offensive linemen with normal development, they're just not even useful at that point. Jared McKee here out of Georgia. 6'3", almost 400 pounds. Elite strength, solid speed. Still running Tom Brady speed, 5'1", Jared McKee in the 4th round. Ranked 151, got him at 118. Normal development, just wanted to point it out, almost 400 pounds is crazy. So definitely not the best draft I could have had, but not the worst. 74 for Denzel Hall, 72 and 70 for my offensive lineman. McKee's a 67. But again, it's not the worst, but I definitely could have done better. Now, this is the team after the draft. Don't really want to start the rookies just yet. There's no point to. They have normal development. I might just draft someone else. Anyways, I may need to move on from Joe Mixon due to his age. I'm not going to do that this year. Hall is immediately going to be a starter, and honestly, I'm going to put McKee at the number 2. Hopefully, one of them can get Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Specialist-wise, Hall is going to move up. Everything else looks good. Tank Dell. Honestly, Tank Dell, probably, it's already been reported, he probably won't even be in the next season. He tore his ACL, his MCL, he dislocated his kneecap, and he tore one more part of his ligament in his leg. Deontay Johnson, why are you still here, dude? Get off of my team. He had a 1-year contract. There's no way they re-sign him. I don't know how much cap penalty I just took for cutting him, but he should have only been on a 1-year contract. So Tank Dell will not play this season. John Mechie, like, these receivers get no breaks, dude. Stephon Diggs injured, Tank Dell injured. John Mechie, whenever he was first drafted, like a month later, he was diagnosed with leukemia. These receivers absolutely get no breaks, but for Tank Dell, in the second season, he will not be playing. They said he's probably going to be out for the entirety of the next season after tearing that ligament in his leg, like 3 or 4 different ligaments in his leg. So I'm not going to be keeping him as a starter here. Move Tank Dell down on the kick returner as well. He's not going to be a starter in the next couple seasons. Well, in the next season at least. Definitely gone for the rest of the year on this one. But we'll see how it goes. Dameon Pierce, sure, you can be the fullback. And then we got to move on from there. So we're going to miss out on Tank Dell this season. So apart from that, guys, let's move into the midseason mark. And we are 6-0. That's crazy. I'm in the Dallas offense, Buffalo defense. Rushing is 23rd. Everything else is in the top 5. Weekly awards here. You have Derek Stingley, 2 interceptions, a tackle, and a touchdown. For the scouting national focus, I kind of still need defensive tackle. I'm not going to lie, but interior offensive lineman definitely would take priority here, so I'm going to actually do that. For the players ready to negotiate, Danielle Hunter, I do want you back. You're about to be 31. I want to do a 2-year deal with you, $24 million a year. He resigns on that. Jalen Petrie, I would love to have back, 5-year contract, $10 million a year. He resigns with the team. Dameon Pierce, I might need back. It's only $4 million a year to have him as a backup. Why not? I have $16 million left. John Mechie doesn't want to be here, and I honestly just don't want him. I know he's young, but he only has normal development. I don't really want Christian Harris. Kenyon Green is a bust of a first-round pick. I'm pretty sure you picked Kenyon Green over Zion Johnson. Is that his name? Or the right guard for the Chargers. I forgot his name. Something, is it Zion Johnson? I don't know. Either way, you picked Kenyon Green over that guy, and Johnson's been way better. Either way, we have Stephon Gilmore. Probably not going to re-sign him. I need to save money because C.J. Stroud's contract and Will Anderson is both coming up, and Derek Stingley, so I'm going to need to accept both of these guys' options. Tommy Townsend, I would like back. Sure, honestly, a 4-year contract. It's only $2 million a year. I can't keep re-signing extreme amounts of players because of C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson Jr.'s contract. But for now, we are 6-0. Let's see if we can beat the 5-2 Chiefs. I'm just curious to see if we can continue the streak and be 7-0 here, as we will. Here to face the 3-5 Cincinnati Bengals. We beat the Chiefs, so I'm just going to skip into the playoffs now. And we finished 13-4, top of the division after 1 year. Crazy. Just changed some playbooks. Defensive points per game is 25th in the league, but we're still 13-4, so that's good. Coming off back-to-back losses to the Jaguars and the Rams, I guess it didn't matter for our seeding anyways. For the player award, CJ Stroud probably got league MVP, top 3 in every stat. He's actually going to be 4th for league MVP, even though he's top 3 in every stat. Best offense in the NFL here for yards. Defensively, we were 14th. And then CJ Stroud, 4,600 yards, 39 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 118 pass rating. Rushing wise, CJ Stroud, 7 rushing touchdowns as well, 2 fumbles. Joe Mixon, 1 fumble, 15 touchdowns, 4.9 per carry, 1,300 yards. Great year. Stephon Diggs, 103 receptions, 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, mainly because he's in the slot. But then you got John Mechie here, 10 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Great season from him. I can't afford to re-sign him, and he doesn't want to be here, so we're going to miss out on that. Nico Collins, 3 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. Dalton Schultz, 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. For the sacks allowed, 5 for Shaq Mason, 5 for Tunsil, 5 for Titus Howard, 3 for Jarrett Patterson, and 2 for Juice Scruggs. That's actually really good for my offensive line. Azeez Al-Shaair here with 121 tackles for a loss, 16 for Will Anderson Jr., 14 for Danielle Hunter, 9 for Denzel Hall, the rookie, then sacks, 13.5 for Will Anderson, 11 for Danielle Hunter, 6.5 for the rookie, Denzel Hall. Interceptions, 3 for Derek Stingley, 2 for Stephon Gilmore, and 1 from Jalen Petrie. We have a combined total of 6 interceptions throughout the entire year. Deflections, 11 for Azeez Al-Shaair, 9 for Henry or Toa, I don't know. And then that rhymed, I guess. 6 deflections for Kamari Lassiter, and then safeties on the team, 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Derek Stingley. And in the divisional round, we are here to face the Indianapolis Colts. We had a first round bye. Let's see if we can beat our divisional rivals to move on to the conference championship, and we do. 42-31 here to face the 12-5 Baltimore Ravens, our kryptonite, to see if we can move on to the Super Bowl. Here we are versus the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to start out with a punt. We're going to start out with a punt as well, and they're going to start out with a 7-0 game. First to strike. We punted on our opponent's territory. I hate it when the AI does that. 7-7 game here against the Ravens, and they're going to make it a 10-7 game. And our kryptonite once again beats us, as we cannot seem to beat the Baltimore Ravens. They beat us in the playoffs in real life last year against the Texans, and then of course that was CJ Stroud's rookie year, so you didn't expect too much. And then they get molly-whopped by them in real life this year, and then in simulation we still lose in the conference championship. Let's move into the offseason. And the Ravens crushed the Seahawks in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson was the Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen wins the league MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year. The Seahawks rookie QB Marvin Clement wins Rookie of the Year after bringing the Seahawks to the Super Bowl in year 1. No awards here for the Texans. In the AFC South, Stephon Gilmore, Shaq Mason, and DeAndre Hopkins all retire. For the team upgrades, offensively, Dalton Schultz gets superstar development. That's awesome to see. Joe Mixon continues to regress. He's down to an 85 overall without the boost. How old is Dameon Pierce? He is 26. And then, of course, offensive line has taken a step back because Shaq Mason just left, but I don't know if I would have re-signed him. Denzel Hall comes with star development. Superstar X Factor for Danielle Hunter now, and superstar development for Will Anderson Jr. Team's looking great. Still need to fill in some holes. And we are going to, of course, accept the option for CJ Stroud and Will Anderson Jr. here. John Mechie, I would like back, but he doesn't want to be here. Christian Harris doesn't want to be here. None of these guys I really want past that. I mean, Christian Harris does want to be here. I just don't really want him. I have $55 million to spend, but I'm going to completely skip out on free agency because I just don't want to pay anyone whenever I have Derek Stingley's contract coming up, and then I have, of course, CJ Stroud and Will Anderson in the near future as well. Not next year, though. Can I sign one-year contracts with someone? Joe Thuney on a 1 year wouldn't necessarily help that much. Terrell Bernard wouldn't be bad. But, I mean, actually, if I can just get 1 year with Joe Thuney, that's all I would really want from this. But that would be the only thing that I would want from anyone here. So let's see if he signs with us. He chooses to not sign with us. So from that point, I really don't want anyone else here. Is Connor McGovern even here? There's a receiver in Jalen Tolbert. I'm getting Tank Dell back. I mean, I could get Brandon Scherf for 1 year. So let me try that actually. Just 1 year contract, please. Please just accept it, dude. And he will accept it. So Brandon Scherf just on a 1 year contract until I get my offensive lineman situation more figured out. Let's move into the draft. In the draft, we're going to have pick number 30. I still need defensive tackle. tackle, maybe another middle linebacker to replace Azeez Al-Shire. I need a new halfback in the near future as well. So we're going to see what we have here. We have some edge rushers I don't need. There's a halfback in the first round. Deontay McDougal. I don't need him, and I don't really want to draft one. I mean, I have Joe Mixon, but he's not going to be lasting too long here. Then we have Mark McGee here, center out of Auburn, 6'4", 318, great speed, good strength, elite change direction, decent jumping. He looks really good. I don't take offensive linemen in the first round, but Mark McGee does look really good. He's going to be our new center, rank 16, got him at 30, hidden development, perfect. Thank you. I would have been really upset if that was normal development. 88 strength, A's and B's across the board. And now that I scouted interior offensive line, there's this guy, George Hookland here in the late second round, third to fourth round projection, but he's first to second round talent. I'm in the late second round. We're basically in the third round. I'm going to pull the trigger on this. Our new left guard, ranked 35, got him at 62, hidden development out of Iowa, 6'5", 300 pounds. He's immediately going to start. In round number 3, looking at middle linebackers, Nathan Reddick out of Mississippi State, 6'2", 231 here, decent speed, great acceleration. He has A awareness, A impact blocking. The A awareness is the main thing that I like about him. There's a pass coverage guy here in Philip Green. He's day 3. We're almost in day 3. We're at the end of the third round. 6'2", 233 out of Clemson here. He has great speed, great acceleration, elite change of direction, elite jumping, solid strength, A awareness, B's across the board. Philip Green looks better. I'm going to reach on this. I'm going to pull the trigger. Rank 74, got him at 94. Normal development really sucks. He still looks good though. And then in the fourth round, this is probably going to be my last pick before I just skip into the rest of the draft. But I'm, of course, going to look at defensive tackle and then just sort by physicals, then go to strength, sort. This guy has the best strength here, 320 pounds out of USF. I don't really care about the other stats as long as it's good strength. I know that doesn't really say too much, but ranked 148, got him at 126. Sometimes you just pull a hidden development. We tried. Going to try and scout a fullback here. A lot of Fs on the board for that guy. This guy has F carrying, which I don't really care about. Haha, so funny. But this guy, let's see, Mike Holland. He's a blocking archetype, A pass block. Sure, that's all, whatever. I mean, if we look at the physicals, though, is there anyone that's physically dominant over the rest of the guys? Because this guy isn't athletically good. This guy has elite speed. This guy also has elite speed. Elite. This guy looks really good. Shane Hayes here. He looks like he's 300 pounds, but he's 250. I hate that face scan for anyone under 300 pounds. F carrying, I don't really care. Athletically, he looks really, really good for a fullback. Ranked 91, got him at 158. Normal development, that's fine. Dude, look at this. Power archetype punter. I'm scouting power archetype. Physicals here. He has poor kick power. Why would you ever show me that? And then with my 6th round pick, sure, picking up a kicker. Ooh, Mitchell Eaton. You could say he's the brother of Eddie Eaton. Only real people with elite ball knowledge know that reference from the Tokyo Dragons franchise. He was another kicker that I had in that franchise. Mitchell Eaton, brother of Eddie Eaton for the storyline. 94 kick power, 77 speed, hidden development. Sure, we'll take it. After the draft, Mark McGee's is 75, 74 for George Hookland, 72 for Philip Green, normal development for this defensive tackle. Fullbacks is 71, kickers is 68, and I didn't pick up this last guy, Bonds. Is this worth it here? Can I trade Otis Peters with Joe Mixon for Otis Peters? He has hidden development. He's a 77 overall. I'm kind of willing to take the gamble on this. I want to see how much they're willing to give up for Joe Mixon, though. Would that be cool if that went through? No, it wouldn't be cool with them entirely, but they're getting close to making that swap. Would I have to give up a third? I'm not going to willing to give up a second and Joe Mixon for Otis Peters, but okay, they want more than that. Not willing to do that. It was just an interesting take. I'm looking to swap some youth for Joe Mixon because even though he's been good for us, I can't keep him long term. Dude, the Chargers have a second string superstar X Factor running back. Please make this swap. Yes. I know it sounds cheesy, so I'm going to level the playing field just a little bit. A 3rd round pick for him. Caleb Westbrook for Joe Mixon, who's just going to age into oblivion. I will easily take that. Yes, sir. The Chargers were misutilizing this dude, Caleb Westbrook. Easily going to start him on the team. And yeah, that's an easy W. McGee's going to start. Hookland's going to start. Offensive line is developing nicely here. You got elite receivers across the board. 4 superstar X Factors on offense now. I know that may seem cheesy what I wanted to do, but I wanted to prioritize my future. Still need some defensive tackle help here. Guess I'll have to pick that up in the next year. And another DB. would also be nice. And then, of course, Azeez Al-Shaair probably won't be here forever as well. Specialist-wise, Tank Dell is going to be in the slot. Westbrook is going to be the starter across the board. Everything else looks really good. Really hopeful for Westbrook. He's not going to be amazing off the bat just because he's a 79 overall. Going to have to develop him for a couple of years. But anyways, let's move into the midseason mark for year number 2. And we are 4-3. Last time we were 6-0. Our defense is not doing as well. Offense still doing good, though. Scouting national focus. I'm going back to defensive tackle here. And now we have $114 million to spend. Derek Stingley, he wants to be here. I'll just do 5 years for him and $20 million a year for him. He resigns. Tank Dell doesn't want to be here. He wants to be historic champions. We're the Texans. Maybe that could happen at the end of the year. So maybe I should wait. It could be more expensive at the end of the year. And even then, we wouldn't be historic champions after winning only 1 Super Bowl. I'm going to have to overpay. And he says no still, even if after trying to overpay. Henry To'oTo'o or whatever, he wants $10 million a year. That's fine with me. He wants a big bonus. He stays with the team. And then Dalton Schultz, he's 30. I'm cool with a 1-year contract for you, but not more than that. And he resigns on that. Lermy Tunsil, I'm cool with, 2 years is what I had in mind, $30 million a year, and he wants to think it over. Stephon Diggs, Azeez Al-Shaair. Stephon Diggs might have to walk. I'm not going to lie. He's going to become like probably an 85 overall. He's still good for us, but I would rather have Tank Dell and Lermy Tunsil than develop the team. Juice Scruggs isn't bad. He just doesn't have star development, and of course, I now have to pay Juice Scruggs, unlike my new rookies that I don't have to pay. And then later in the future, I'm going to have to pay Will Anderson in the next season, actually. We have Russell Wilson as a backup, and I'm also going to have to pay CJ Stroud. So I don't think I'll be able to re-sign Stephon Diggs. We'll see, though. Need to conserve a lot of money. Anyways, let's move into the playoffs. Here we are in the playoffs, coming off back-to-back wins of the Bengals and the Jaguars, beating both the Wildcats back-to-back, blowing out the Jaguars 33-0. Here to face the 10-7 Bills. We finished 11-6, but the Colts finished 12-5 and get a 2 seed and take the division. Stats and awards here. CJ Stroud looks amazing again. Where does he rank for MVP? He ranks 4th again. Very unfortunate. 2nd in passing yards, 7th in passing touchdowns, 5th in pass rating, 6th best offense in the NFL, 4th best defense. A huge improvement, but we're only 10-7. Last time we didn't have as good of a team, but still we were 13-4. Either way, CJ Stroud, 4,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 115 pass rating. A little bit less pass rating than last year, but still. Caleb Westbrook, 2 fumbles, 13 touchdowns is nice, but only 3.5 per carry for an X factor. Seems really low. Hopefully he develops a lot better. CJ Stroud with 7 rushing touchdowns as well. Tank Dell, 13 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. Welcome back. Hopefully he gets superstar development for that. Stephon Diggs, 11 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Nico Collins, almost 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Dalton Schultz, 5 touchdowns, 850 yards. For the sacks allowed here, Titus Howard sucks. I mean, it's not the worst he could have done. He did really good last year, but not this year. And then Mark McGee, he's a rookie, 7 sacks allowed, though. Lermy Tunsil only with 4. Brandon Scherf with 2. That was a great signing. And Hooklin is great with 2 in his rookie year. Henry To'oTo'o or whatever. Henry To'oTo'o. Okay, I'm just going to say Henry. I don't even care. 103 tackles, 102 for Azeez Al-Shaair, and then tackles for a loss. 15 for Denzel Hall, 14 for Danielle Hunter, 12 for Will Anderson, 8 for Azeez, and then sacks 23 for Will Anderson Jr. He will get superstar X Factor. 11.5 for Danielle, 5 for Denzel Hall. He's been great. 3 interceptions for Kamari Lassiter and Derek Stingley. Deflections, 10 for Stingley, 7 for Lassiter, 8 for Azeez, and then safeties on the team. 0 defensive touchdowns is 1 for Derek Stingley. Hopefully he gets a development upgrade. Can we beat the 10-7 Bills to move on to the divisional round in year number 2 here? And the answer is yes. Here to face the 14-3 Baltimore Ravens. Can we please beat the Baltimore Ravens here? Please, let's see it simulation. And the answer is no. Once again, the Ravens have beaten us, as I believe that brings CJ Stroud now in simulation and in real life his record to 0-4 against the Baltimore Ravens. Let's move in to the offseason. It's another 3-point loss for us as well. And Lamar Jackson and the Seattle Seahawks back-to-back Super Bowls, and Lamar Jackson wins back-to-back Super Bowls. This time it was a 3-point game instead of the Seahawks getting crushed. Lamar Jackson wins the Super Bowl MVP. Joe Burrow wins the league MVP. And Will Anderson wins Defensive Player of the Year. No other awards here for the Texans. In the AFC South, Russell Wilson, Brandon Scherf, Cody Whitehair, and Geno Smith all retire. And for the team upgrades, Westbrook is up from a 79 to an 86. That's really nice improvement. Tank Dell gets superstar development. McGee and Hooklin both come with star development. That's nice to see, as now since the Brandon Scherf retired, you now have Scruggs starting there. So maybe Scruggs we re-sign. Either way, Stephon Diggs is down to an 85 overall without his boost. So probably not going to re-sign him. And then we have 99 CJ Stroud. He's going to want like what? He's going to want like $60 million a year. Will Anderson Jr. just got defensive rookie. He got defensive player of the year, and you're going to tell me there's no development upgrade for him. He is the best defensive player in the entire NFL, and you're telling me he doesn't get a development upgrade. I'm giving him X factor. I don't care if it's considered cheating. That's more than reasonable. I meant to say that's more than reasonable, but I can't talk 90% of the time. Either way, this is what we got going on for the team. Yeah, he definitely deserved that. Denzel Hall's been great for us. Still need a second defensive tackle. Maybe, how old is Azeez Al-Shire? Is he not regressing? He's 30 now, so maybe need a replacement for him. He could be depth. For the players ready to negotiate, Tank Dell just doesn't want to be here, dude. I'm so sorry, but you need to stay here. And I wish I signed him in the midseason. Would have been cheaper. Lermy Tunsil here. Again, I'm just going to offer him neutral deal, 2 years. You better re-sign. He re-signs on that $32 million a year. Stephon Diggs, I won't have him back unless it's a 1-year contract. I'm going to prioritize others for now. Azeez Al-Shire, it's going to have to be a 1-year contract as well. He wants to test out free agency. That's fine. These need to be 1-year deals because I need to pay CJ Stroud, Will Anderson. It's a big deal. And then Juice Scruggs here. I'm not going to pay you $10 million a year to be a normal development. I was going to consider having him back. I don't have the money to do that. He's going to have to walk. All these other extras are just going to have to walk as well. But Stephon Diggs here, if you want to come back, it has to be a 1-year deal. I'll boost up your salary a little bit, but that's it. He re-signs with the team. He's going to play probably in the slot, and then Tank Dell is going to be the number 2. That's all I can do with this team for now. $31 million. I'm going to completely pass on free agency. I need to save money for Will Anderson and CJ Stroud, of course. And the Titans get the number 1 overall pick. Again, they're going to pick a new QB in Paul Williams, and we are at pick number 27. I need a defensive tackle. I need a left guard. I need a right tackle. There's top 5 QBs on the board. There's so many QBs on the board. Wow, that's crazy. Good halfback at the top of the board, too. Need a left guard. Am I willing to pick one in the first round again for an offensive lineman? There is a left tackle here. He has A to C awareness. He is Zach Elliott out of Tennessee, 6'6", 334, poor jumping, elite change direction, good strength. Doesn't look worth a first-round pick, especially if he has normal development. I need to replace Titus Howard. He was not good last season. Could do Cedric Stovall here and just move him to right guard. He's 337 and he's 6'6". He could definitely play right guard for us. And then Carmelo Harris could play that position as well. Let me see my options and just go through them. Yeah, that's going to be the guy, Cortez Birmingham. I know I said I didn't want to pick an offensive lineman in the first round. He's going to be our new left guard to replace Juice Scruggs here. Well, all right, I'm going to move him to right guard to replace Brandon Scherf, actually, because he looks really good. Elite strength, and then he has A's and B's across the board. He's going to be our first-round pick. Usually don't like taking offensive linemen in the first round. A-plus pick, ranked to number 8 in the class. Got him at 27. Hidden development, 94 strength out of Stanford. He looks great. Now in round 2, I have the option to take a right guard, move him to right tackle. Alex Gold here out of Washington looks pretty good. Pass protector. His physicals don't look great, but he does have A awareness and A pass blocking. This guy, Eric Snowden out of Oregon, 6'6", 342, can easily play right tackle. Elite strength. I'm going to pick Eric Snowden. Definitely can play right tackle here with that elite strength as well. Good mobility. You like to see it. Ranked 50, got him at 59. Hidden development. He's going to be the new right tackle. I've completed my offensive line. I need defensive tackle. I need to stop neglecting it. And I forgot we don't have a third-round pick. This just got a whole lot harder, and I'm probably going to end up without a defensive tackle again. In the 4th round, picking up defensive tackle Devin Calhoun here, ranked 164, got him at 123. Normal development again. I had to try, and I guess I'm just going to have to sign a free agent defensive tackle at this point because I keep focusing on my offensive line. After the draft, 77 overall for Birmingham, 73 for Snowden, 67 for Calhoun in the 4th round. Then I stopped drafting after that. And now the offensive line is complete. Of course, it's not playing the guys where I want them to be played. When I say play right tackle, you play right tackle. That's as simple as it gets. Snowden is going to be the starter over Fisher. The offensive line is complete unless Lermy Tunsil retires, which would really suck. And of course, we now have to deal with CJ Stroud's at 99 overall contract by the time we get to the midseason mark. Westbrook hopefully performs this year at an 87 overall. Defensively, I guess Green is going to be the starter now. And then I need to sign a free agent defensive tackle. Everything else from there, though, looks pretty good. So apart from that, let's move in to the midseason mark. Blake Cashman here is a 76 overall, so before we move into the midseason mark, I'm just going to sign him as a filler player. I'm going to sign Javon Kinlaw. Actually, I'd rather have DJ Reader here. I'm pretty sure he has the mentor tag. Yeah, he does, so that will help Denzel as well, so help him develop a little bit more, so we're going to sign DJ Reader. Mid-season mark, we're 2-5 with an 89 overall team. That's so stupid. That's so dumb. I improve my defense. Oh no, I lose Azeez Al-Shire. What a tragedy to my defense, as they're suddenly just in shambles now. What a retarded game. Scouting national focus, I'm going to keep it at defensive tackle. CJ Stroud here, 99 overall. He's going to get a bag, $70 million a year, dude, and he accepts. I have to pay him. I have to pay him. Will Anderson Jr., 5-year contract, $30 million a year. He resigns. Kamari Lassiter, need him back as well, $20 million a year. He resigns, more like $17 million. Nico Collins, $30 million a year. He resigns, down to $19 million. And now I have Danielle Hunter as well, Dalton Schultz, Stephon Diggs. This is what I was worried about. This is exactly what I was worried about. Denzel Hall, I'm going to accept that option. But for now, Kalen Bullock is someone I want to prioritize. I'm going to overpay for him. He doesn't want to sign the contract. I'm probably going to have to, even if I did save the money for Bullock, I wouldn't be able to re-sign Danielle Hunter. I'm going to have to re-sign Bullock, and then I'm going to have to tag Danielle Hunter. Then Dalton Schultz and the rest of these guys are just going to have to walk. It is what it is. My team's 2-5. It's super annoying, but it's just Madden RNG. The very next year we'll make the playoffs. That's just how Madden works for no reason. And we finished 10-7, and we missed the playoffs at 10-7. After coming back, we get an 8 seed at 10-7. My team suddenly performs well. I'm a 91 overall team. I guarantee you, I have the highest overall team in this entire league, and I did not make the playoffs. Here, I'll show you. I have the highest overall team by leagues here. Let's look at the team. 88, 86, 88, 85, 88, 85, 86. There's 92 for the Chiefs for the second highest. And then 87. Do you guys see any more 90s other than the Chiefs? Okay, we got 90 Packers team, 85, 84, 88, 86, 87. And then you scroll down, 87, 85, 91 for us, 86 for the Steelers. That's it. So there's a 92 overall Chiefs team, 90 overall Packers team. Then we're a 91 overall. We're the second highest overall in the NFL, and we missed the playoffs because EA said so. CJ Stroud, amazing year again. He's not going to win MVP here. Of course, it's Patrick Mahomes again. I understand he's an amazing quarterback. He's generational talent, but oh my gosh, dude. The amount of glaze he gets is crazy. 6th for MVP this year. 5th best offense, 6th in passing yards, 8th in passing touchdowns defensively, 4th. Top 5 offense, top 5 defense, and I missed the playoffs, dude. You have to be kidding me. CJ Stroud, 4,300 yards, and then 35 touchdowns, 7 receptions, 115 passer rating, and then Westbrook here breaks out, 14 touchdowns, 4.7 per carry, 1,200 yards, no fumbles. Great year from him. Tank Dell, 17 touchdowns, 1,500 yards, 106 receptions. That's X factor. Nico Collins, 4 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. He gets almost 1,000 yards every year, and I just paid him $30 million. Stephon Diggs, 7 touchdowns, 800 yards. Dalton Schultz, 750 yards, 7 touchdowns. Sacks allowed. Tunsil allowed 18 sacks. My 94 overall superstar development offensive tackle went from allowing 4 sacks to 18 sacks. What is this? How do you become washed so unbelievably quickly? It's just like that, and he's just washed. Snowden, I understand. He's a rookie. He can allow 11 sacks. Hookland allowed 1. Birmingham allowed 4. McGee allowed 4 as well. Tunsil, my best offensive lineman, allowing... I know the offensive tackles allow more sacks. Ridiculous that a 94 overall superstar left tackle allows 18. Henry with 99 tackles for a loss, 17 for Danielle Hunter, 13 for Will Anderson, 12 for Denzel Hall and DJ Reader. That's a good signing. 17 sacks for Will Anderson, 7.5 for Hunter, 7.5 for Denzel Hall. Interceptions, 5 for Derek Stingley. Deflections, 8 for Henry, 7 for Matthew Telfer. I don't know who that is. And 7 for Kalen Bullock. Safeties on the team, 0. Defensive touchdown, 0. Ridiculous. Top 5 offense, top 5 defense, second highest overall in the league, and we missed the playoffs. And the Buccaneers beat the Jets in the Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield wins the Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes wins League MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. No awards for the Texans. In the AFC South, Trent Brown and DeForest Buckner both retire. Honestly wish Lermy Tunsil retired. You're a 94 overall and you allowed all that. Birmingham is a superstar development. Snowden is a star development. Dude, I'm paying you $30 million to allow 18 sacks. Ridiculous. Westbrook is up to a 91 without the boost. Tank Dell is up to a superstar X factor now. And then defensively, we're a 90 overall team now. 90 overall team. Any other upgrades? Hall still doesn't get an upgrade. He's been producing great seasons, season after season. Getting annoying. Need a middle linebacker, need an outside linebacker, need a defensive tackle. I'm going to lose Stephon Diggs. I'm going to lose Dalton Schultz. and I'm paying Laremy Tunsil $30 million to allow 18 sacks, and I still don't make the playoffs. Oh, Vic, you're just complaining. You're damn right I'm complaining. Why? Why do I miss the playoffs? My team is great. Come on. Denzel Hall here. I easily want to accept that option. Kalen Bullock, Danielle Hunter. I want to pay him. I would rather just, dude, let me pay Kalen Bullock first, and let's see if he accepts this $10 million a year. It's a little bit of an overpay there. I'm going to tag Danielle Hunter, and then Blake Fisher I don't need. Dalton Schultz. Can I still pay Danielle Hunter? I can almost pay Danielle Hunter, so I can finesse my way around this. It's either Dalton Schultz or Stephon Diggs. I'm going to choose Stephon Diggs just because tight ends, never mind. It's not Stephon Diggs. He doesn't want to play here. Schultz, you get in based on, oh, never mind. I was going to say you get in based on a contingency. Neither of them want to play here, and I get screwed out of both of them. That really, really sucks. Maybe should have paid a little extra for Stephon Diggs. Either way, Danielle Hunter, I can't quite pay you, so we're going to spread out this contract a little bit more. It's the final season, so it's not going to be my problem. He wants to play for a new team. Don't care. You're getting tagged. Negative $3 million in cap debt now. Losing Stephon Diggs. Losing my tight end. Let's move into the draft. I need a tight end. I need a defensive tackle. I need a middle linebacker. I need a receiver 3. I'm so chopped. In the first round, probably going to be looking for a receiver. I get pick number 18, really. I was that close to the playoffs. I was the next person up. So many QBs on the board that teams don't need. I need a tight end or a receiver, whichever comes first. There's a good tight end on the board. A to C awareness, though. Alex Webster out of West Virginia. Elite speed, elite acceleration. Doesn't look amazing, honestly. There's Clarence Morrison, though. 6'5", 223 out of Ole Miss. A catch in traffic. Looks really good. Good speed, great strength. He only has good speed after running a 4.38 and a good accelerate. 4.38 at 6'5", dude. A catch in traffic, A spec catch, A run block, B catching, B release. Clarence Morrison, easily the pick here. Ranked 17, got him at 18. How does he have normal development? You ran a 4.38 at 6'5". That's ridiculous. In the second round, easily going to pick up defensive tackle here. Then I'm going to prioritize tight end. Then sure, I'll pick up depth middle linebacker later. So let's pick up a defensive tackle right now. I don't care if I'm reaching on this. Marquise Cunningham, F power moves. He's 285. He's not a power move guy. He's a speed rusher. Great speed, great acceleration. A's and B's across the board. We're just going to pull the trigger on this guy. This guy looks pretty good. Ranked 72. Got him at 50. Hidden development. That's what I want to see. Looks pretty good. Round number 3. Now I'm going to pick up my tight end, and then I'm going to pick up a middle linebacker in the 4th round. This guy doesn't look bad. Dom Peterson, 6'6", 255 out of Notre Dame. Skipped the combine. Already know he's a baller. Don't need to look at anything else. Ranked 2. Never mind. He is not a baller. And I got this guy, Lloyd Davis, middle linebacker out of Ohio State. Hidden development in the 4th round. He's ranked 258. Got him at 114. Not a high overall, but sure, nice depth. Let's look at physical ability for tight end. There's a guy with elite acceleration, and then he has great speed, elite jumping. This guy, oh my gosh, Darren Rudolph here out of Mississippi State. F run block, A deep route, great speed, elite jumping, elite acceleration, solid strength. He's not really good at blocking at all. He's a vertical threat. We'll see how he goes. Ranked, oh my, he's even worse, but he has hidden development, so sure, we'll take it. This team not doing as well as it should is getting pretty aggravating. CJ Stroud's a 91, 99 overall. Is this still not giving him an X Factor ability? It says only 2 are activated. Why is Nico Collins and CJ Stroud not getting abilities, but Westbrook is? That's so dumb. I should have 3 at a time, but it won't let me. Rudolph, sure, we're going to start him. He's a 60 overall. Don't care. Everyone else here is fine. Morrison, I guess, is going to be in the slot. Is that going to be true? No, Tank Dell is going to be in the slot. Morrison, I'm going to make the number 2. In that case, I didn't even check up on the draft recap. The offensive line looks good, but Laremy Tunsil is going to allow 18 sacks. And then Cunningham, 73 overall. Davis is 67, so he's going to just play his depth. He's not going to be anything more than that. Never got around to getting that 3rd defensive back, but everything else here seems pretty good. The team should be able to perform. It's getting really annoying. 4th and potentially the final year. If I don't win this year, I'm playing another season. This team is way better than what Madden thinks it is. Let's move into the playoffs and see if we can make them and not get stupid RNG from Madden. So you're telling me the difference between last year, I have the same overall team. The difference between last year and this year is I got a slight improvement at my defensive tackle number 2 position. I have a significantly worse tight end and a worse receiving core, slightly worse without Stephon Diggs. And I now am 14-3 and I get a 1st round bye instead of being 10-7 and miss the playoffs. Sure, dude. You know what? I'll take it. Greens across the NFL ranks. 2nd in offensive points per game, 1st in defensive points per game. You love to see it. Weekly awards, back-to-back wins to the Packers and Jets. Weekly awards, Will Anderson, 4 sacks, 7 tackles in 1 game. CJ Stroud here. Show me league MVP, please. No, it's going to be Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and he's going to be number 6. 4th in passing yards, 2nd in passing touchdowns, 7th in pass rating, 3rd best offense in the NFL, best defense in the NFL, 4,500 yards, 39 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 112 pass rating, still a great season at 99 overall. Then to Caleb Westbrook, glad we picked this guy up. Still don't have to pay him until, of course, this upcoming season. But then no fumbles, 18 touchdowns, 4.4 per carry, 1,100 yards. Nico Collins, 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns. Finally, he gives me a 1,000-yard season. Tank Dell, 20 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. Darren Rudolph, the 60 overall tight end, outperforms Dalton Schultz. 94 receptions, almost 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns. Clarence Morrison, the rookie, 6 touchdowns, 750 yards. Sacks allowed here. Eric Snowden, 12. I mean, he's probably the worst overall on our offensive line. 8 for McGee. Hookland is 5. Lermy Tunsil, I guess, I don't know. He was just having too much McDonald's in 1 year. Good job on coming back on the season, but where was that last year? Either way, one sack allowed from Cortez Birmingham. He already has superstar development. He's great. Henry with 123 tackles for a loss, 12 for Will Anderson, 9 for Denzel Hall, 7 for Danielle Hunter. Sacks 31.5 for Will Anderson is broken, 12 for Denzel Hall, 6 for Danielle Hunter, 10 interceptions for Derek Stingley. Is that a record? No, Nitrate Lane has like 14 in like a 14-game season. Kalen Bullock, 8 deflections, 7 for Derek Stingley, and then 7 for Russ Mayo. Interesting name, 0 safeties, 0 defensive touchdowns. Let me check this record book. Most sacks in a season, Will Anderson Jr. gets it here. He should win the league MVP for that. He's not going to. He's just going to get Defensive Player of the Year. And then most interceptions in a season, Night Train Lane on the Rams in 14. I'm pretty sure there's only like 12 or maybe 14. No, there's like 12 games played in a season back then. So that's crazy to get that. Either way, let's see where we're playing the divisional. Here we are to face the 12-5 Jacksonville Jaguars. We are 6 overalls higher than them. If we lose, I'm going to be so pissed. I'm going to be so pissed. We're green in every stat. They have the 20th best offense. I'm going to be so mad if we lose this. We are so much better of a team. We win it 21-10 here to face the 13-4 Buffalo Bills. We're 4 overalls higher than them. We have a morale boost. We have a better offense. Wait, their offense is now 20th best in the NFL? I guess that changes week by week, but I literally just swear I saw that exact same stats for the Jaguars, and they just copy and pasted them to the Bills. But I'm going to hop into this one. We haven't made it past the conference championship yet. It's the 4th and final year. I may have to play some snaps. Here we are against the Buffalo Bills. They're going to open up with 7. We're going to start with a punt. Not a good start for the team. They're going to make a 14-0 game. Offense, please wake up. 7-14 here, opening up half with a punt in your opponent's territory. What are you doing? Please come back. 14-14. We get the ball back with a minute 14 left. End game drive. It's 3rd and 13. I'm going to hop in. I'm going to play the game and try to win it. Off the rip, they're coming out on Nico Collins press. Why does Nico Collins only have a superstar development? Same thing with Stroud. They're both X factors, dude. Come on. Oh, he burns him off the top immediately. That should be a touchdown for Nico Collins. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to lay down and then just run the clock. Bills took a timeout. Don't want to force the touchdown. Just tackle me, please. They're going to take another timeout. That's fine with me. Can I just take knees, honestly? I'm going to force them to burn their final timeout. Then I'm going to take another knee leading to 4th down. Then I'm just going to take a chip shot field goal. They're just going to take their final timeout. Going to take another knee. And that should be just about it. We're going to run this down, and I'm even going to take a delay of game just to get all the time off the clock. And we just got the delay of game. Let's kick this game winner. And Eddie Eaton's brother, Mitchell Eaton, puts it up. He puts it through, and he's going to send us to the Super Bowl unless the Bills somehow get a miracle kick return touchdown. They do not. 14-17 as we will be moving on to the Super Bowl. Here to face the 10-7 Seattle Seahawks. We've seen them in 3 out of the 4 years for the simulation Super Bowls. They're back again with their amazing rookie QB. Offensively, for the upgrades, none that I can see. 95 overall for Westbrook already. That was a great long-term investment. Rudolph is already up to a 73 overall from a 60 without the boost, 77 with the boost, 90 overall team, 92 overall team with the boost, 78 overall for Cunningham. I'm sad we didn't get to see his development, so I'm just going to look at it. I'm not going to change it, of course. We got really close. He progressed really quickly, so I was hoping he has like superstar development or something like that. Only star development, that's fine. Anyways, let's see if we can beat the Seattle Seahawks and their young QB to cap this rebuild off with a Super Bowl win. Here we are versus the Seattle Seahawks. They're going to open up with a punt. We're going to start with a punt. Not a good start for either team. 3-0, 7-3. Good stuff. We get ball at half as well. It's going to go to half, and then, of course, we're going to punt the ball to open up half. 6-7. Dude, please play like you are the second best offense in the NFL, which is what you are ranked at. You have the #1 defense. That's clearly showing it. What do we have? Big endgame drive. Hold on to the lead. Absolutely. I'll play this, dude. I guess they didn't get it on 4th down. That should be the game as long as we get a 1st down. 1st and 10, running the ball with Westbrook here as he is going to make it a 2nd and 8. 2nd down and 8, going back to Westbrook here. Westbrook had a lane. I just ran into the lineman. 3rd down and 3. 3rd and 3, still going to be running the ball here. Get that lead block. Westbrook is going to give us a 1st down, and that will be the game. And that will be the game as we take our final kneel down. 7-6, the lowest scoring Super Bowl in NFL history, beating out what the 3-13 game. Well, actually, yeah, the 3-13 game with the Rams versus the Patriots. Lowest scoring Super Bowl in history. Defense did their job. Offense, I have no clue what you're doing. The new rookie QB is wearing Russell Wilson's number 3 number. I doubt that would happen in real life, but hey, we win the Super Bowl. The Texans win their first ever Super Bowl in this rebuild. Thankfully, my team actually got the Super Bowl win that they deserve. CJ Stroud, 1 touchdown for 98 yards. Please don't tell me this guy's going to get the league, not the league MVP, the Super Bowl MVP, dude. Come on. Anyone else do better? Westbrook, we barely used him. He had only 3.0 per carry. I guess I would have to have the defensive line, Denzel Hall maybe, get the Super Bowl MVP, because no way Stroud gets it with less than 100 yards and 1 touchdown. Your Super Bowl MVP is Nico Collins. I guess he got a touchdown and that was it. Josh Allen wins the league MVP. D'Amico Ryans gets Coach of the Year. Josh Allen, Offensive Player of the Year. Will Anderson, Defensive Player of the Year. No other awards for the Texans. So this will be yet another successful rebuild. 99 overall Westbrook now. Laremy Tunsil retires with a Super Bowl ring. 91 overall team, 92 overall with Laremy Tunsil. So anyways, guys, I thank you guys all for watching. Let me know down in the comments below which team you would like me to rebuild next. As of course, again, this was a successful rebuild. Make sure you like and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.